Welcome to Really Important Thinking with Dr. Chris Chismore, hosted by Tom and Griffin.
We are your hosts, Tom and Griffin.
Unfortunately, our illustrious friend, Dr. Chris Chismore, is away on his important research and unable to host the podcast this week.
But fear not, dear listener, because he has left us in charge, and we are going to try to do a really good job of a podcast.
This week, Dr. Chismore has asked us to talk about
Colts! Not the miniature horses.
Right. Welcome, citizen soldiers, to small group. That's right. From here on out, really important thinking. You basically should be thinking of it as your Sunday small group. It's you and up to 300 like-minded individuals across the globe.
Yeah.
Engaging in discussion and excavating ideas, thoughts, and attitudes with Dr. Chris Chismore, who unfortunately is not here again this week.
Yeah.
So you are left with your erstwhile hosts, ? Mm-hmm. Griffin Winsler and Tom Fell. Tom,
Yes.
what does erstwhile mean for the gentle listener?
You know,
Gentle listener, Griffin Winsler. I just put that together.
today's not the day to be asking me. My wife asked me today what the definition of Byzantine was. And I was like, I don't know. I can't tell you what erstwhile means. I can't tell you what Byzantine means. I can use them.
Here we go. Erstwhile, well-intentioned. I'm going to go with, it's kind of
Okay.
like well-intentioned, positive attitude guys.
Okay.
Byzantine is similar to draconian. Let's think old school, Old Testament punishment.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
This is
but
what I'm getting. These are all full guess. What's
Okay.
what's the last one you said?
Oh, no, it's just Byzantine. I looked up Byzantine and it was like complicated.
Byzantine means complicated?
And like it's like a labyrinth that's like overly ornate or complicated.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well,
like a
fuck me.
Byzantine law, because I was thinking it was like draconian, but
I wish you had said that before I made an ass of myself. Did it just stop recording?
I don't know. That's why I've been asking.
I can't hear anything. Can you hear anything?
Yeah, I can hear.
You could hear my voice the whole time?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, sorry for that, dear soldier. Technical complications, as always, here at Really Important Thinking. It wouldn't be a podcast if it wasn't two guys who didn't know how to do the podcast.
Yeah, we got to fire our producer, Lauren Talmadge, who's supposed to be on top of all this stuff.
And she's making a face at me through the booth, and she's pulling out, and she's gesturing to her holster. She has a shoulder
Oh,
holster.
yes, yeah.
And Lauren, we're sorry.
We're sorry, Lauren, and we have to assure you, dear listener, citizen soldier, that we give shit to our producer Lauren Talmadge, but she it's all well intentioned. She gives it back. She shows us her gun at all
it's all
times.
well-intentioned.
It's all well intentioned. It's all well intentioned threats, just like when two men threaten a woman and the woman threatens them back. It's really fun.
Right. And if you've never listened to this podcast before, well, whoops, you fucked up.
Yeah,
But
why are you listening to this one? Probably because it's the Colts one, and Colts are a hot topic.
Are they right now?
I think everybody, if you put Colts on something, people are going to listen to it.
Okay, I like that.
I didn't mean to cut you
Let's see
off,
that number
but-
go up.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was saying. I was just going to welcome them to the podcast. Usually, Dr. Chris Chismore is hosting it. He's our illustrious friend, as stated in the intro. He's not here, though, this week,
No.
Tom, and he's not here for a specific reason.
Yeah, I know exactly why.
Let's hear it.
He texted me last night. He thought he was going to make it this week. This was the first week. He was like, hey, you guys don't have to do it. I'm going to be there. And he just texted me because there was an emergency situation.
Right. If this episode seems cobbled together at the last minute, it sort of is.
It sort of is.
Because we thought we were going to have Memorial Day weekend off. Just to timestamp this, that's when this is happening. Memorial Day weekend. The Pope is still alive.
Yeah.
One Ayatollah down, one Pope still going. Neck and neck race for who's going to be in charge of Earth. Islam or Christians or Catholics. Some Christians don't like that. Anyways, go for it, Tom.
Anyway, last minute, he texted me that he found out that a lot of the couples from Love is Blind, their TV reality show Love is Blind, he actually
Yes.
read that a lot of them are getting divorced now.
Oof.
There are up to 8 of them that are getting divorced that were married in seasons, I think they're on season 6 or 7 now. A lot of the ones from season 1 and 2, 3 and 4, they're all getting divorced now. And so he's trying to get them back together. He really wants them to be
Specifically,
remarried.
He's solving divorce for a small subset of humanity.
Yes, because a lot of people think that Love is Blind, they call it reality slop, they call it lazy, they call it just
Exploitative.
exploitative.
Basically evil.
And I just want to say that, Chris, because he is a doctor, he believes in the scientific integrity of the experiment.
And the experience.
If you ever watched the show, which I did the first couple of seasons, came out during COVID, Nick and Vanessa Lachey are so big throughout the entirety of the season.
Nick Lachey of Backstreet? No, of 98 Degrees?
98 Degrees. And he's
involved?
Wife, yeah, he's the host.
Didn't know that. Don't remember this. This came out during COVID, right?
It came out during COVID, and throughout the entire show, him and Vanessa Lachey are like, it's just so important and groundbreaking that you guys are taking part in this experiment. This is like an experiment.
That's right.
And it's so wonderful that you guys are doing this. You're trailblazing.
It's a beautiful social experiment.
Yes, and not a lot of people knew or know that Dr. Chris Chismore is the scientist and architect behind that experiment.
He's behind this Zimbardo-style experiment. It's actually a Chismore joint.
Yes.
If you thought Love on the Spectrum, that seems like acclaimed then denounced social psychologist Philip Zimbardo's work. Well, you got close, but you didn't quite get it. It's a Chismore joint.
Yeah, that's also Dr. Chris Chismore.
Do you know about Zimbardo, Tom?
No.
Philip Zimbardo, he is famous for the Stanford Prison Experiment.
Oh.
Which everybody was like, okay, you put people in roles and they start, prisoners play into being, they learn helplessness, whatever, they start being prisoners. Prison guards, they start being, sociopaths.
Yeah.
And that's what that proved.
Yeah.
But do you know about the other side of it, which is that Philip Zimbardo fully just goosed it? He had his hand, he had his thumb on the button. He was turning the knobs. What's the phrase I'm looking for?
He had his thumb on the scales.
Thumb on the scales and on the buttons and the knobs as well. He was doing all kinds of stuff to make these kids basically abuse each other. And it was fully discredited. But then now people are kind of back on board. Anyways. The reason I'm thinking about him, he sticks so hard in my mind, is I took a psychology class in high school, AP Psychology. No big deal. If you have any questions about the mind, I'm your guy. And we watched videos in this class, immediately undercutting the AP level nature of the study.
Everyone gets one video in an AP class.
This is like a series, and it was hosted by Philip Zimbardo, and he looks fucking insane. He looks like he got kicked out of the Magic Castle for groping too many of the other magicians. He's got a crazy, sharp goatee that comes in to point wizard's points.
Yeah.
Sorcerer, maybe more a sorcerer than a wizard. And he's got crazy big eyes. And he's just kind of, he feels like PBS, like a late night PBS host. Okay. And he's taking you through all these psychological concepts. And I just remember we watched that and we were all like, this guy's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And then you find out, he's actually a discredited loon.
Damn, that's sad to hear because we are such big advocates of prison and how good it is on this show.
Well, I think that's a win for us. It's not as bad as Zimbardo would make you think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I think, and you know who's behind discrediting him? Let's go ahead and say it. Dr. Chris Chismore.
Oh, excellent.
Chismore did the work to prove that prisons are actually good.
Yes, as long as the study agrees with what we say, it's a good kind of study.
It's a great study, and it's if it's by one of our friends, investigate no further.
Yeah,
we've hit gold. If our friend claims it, then it's true.
Yes, and then is it peer reviewed by someone we trust? It's good.
Right.
If one of our studies hasn't been peer reviewed, well, that's because it doesn't have enough funding.
Let's know this. The best peer review comes from your friends.
Yes.
Don't be letting strangers who don't understand what you're doing try to read your papers, scientists. How many scientists do you think we're talking to at this point, every couple of weeks that we put out an episode?
How many scientists are we talking to?
How many scientists who are listening? How many? If you're a scientist, get at us, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you're an actual scientist that listens to the show, please email reallyimportantthinking@gmail.com.
So that we can fucking roast you. Mainstream experts have failed us.
Okay, I think we've had enough preamble here, which is kind of just...
It's all preamble, Tom.
Yeah, the mood and the feeling that we're in. But we need to get on our topic of the week. That Chris was very adamant that we talk about cults this week.
Right. Wouldn't want to waste any more of your precious time, dear listener.
Yeah.
We better get to cults, lest you feel we're tarrying and delaying.
Well, Stanford prison experiment.
Cult stuff going on.
Yeah, there is a little bit of cult stuff going on. There's a little bit of cult behavior, Dr. Chris Chismore wanted us to talk about cults this week. It's a hot topic. There are cult documentaries left and right on every single streaming platform. It seems like every day we uncover a new little cult that people have joined.
Or an old cult that we forgot about.
Yes.
Well, you know what? One of my favorite cults and documentaries is, what is it? Wild Country.
Yeah, Wild Wild Country.
Wild Wild Country, about the I can't remember. It's the yoga.
Osho, yeah, Osho.
It's the one where they like put like poison in a buffet.
Yeah, yeah.
God damn it! It was so hot for so long. As I started talking, I was like, I'm gonna know this guy's name.
That was like a major 2015 vibes.
Exactly.
I just remember the leader was named Osho.
No, it starts with an R. I'm gonna figure this out.
Oh, they called him Osho because that was the title for teacher.
What's one of your favorite cults, Tom?
I think one of my favorite cults,
Bhagwan.
The
Bhagwan
Yeah.
Osho. Oh yeah, they did call him Osho.
Yeah, teacher. I loved. Well, I don't want to get into this right now. I think we should spend more time on Wild Wild Country, but I like NXIVM.
Yeah. Okay, NXIVM's an interesting one. Sort of self-helpy. There are a lot of them are self-help. There's a lot of what would you call it? Like, not like latent, like and not inept, but like they're basically benign cults.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if it happens right now is so much anymore, but for sure in like the 80s, I think there were a lot of benign, like self-help cults.
Yeah.
That they did everything up to the point where they start abusing people. They're like, building everybody up. There's one central kind of leader who's kind of like got the guru, got the guru vibe.
Yeah.
And then and they're offering just self-help. And NXIVM built on that and said, what if we took it a little further?
Yes.
What if I sort of started sexually abusing and verbally abusing and all kinds of abusing you?
Well, that's kind of a cornerstone of the cults themselves. I mean, I think they all start off. I'll go ahead and say it that, I think most cults start off pretty laid back, with pretty well-intentioned, pretty harmless.
Sure. Okay. I'll follow you on this one for now.
Like, there's nothing wrong with getting together with a few crazy friends and being like, let's do drugs and do some yoga in a field.
Right.
Like,
and one guy's leading.
And one guy's leading. You have to have a leader.
One guy's leading the discussion.
Yeah. Like in the case of Wild Wild Country.
Sure.
Okay. It started off, you got one guy who's super chill, doesn't seem to be fazed by much.
The Bhagwan.
He's got a cool beard. He's got a cool voice.
Yeah.
He helps you out here and there.
Sure.
Makes you less anxious. Has the answers to your questions. And all he wants to do is yoga in a field. He just wants to, hey, we're having a good enough time doing yoga in a field.
Sure.
Meditating. What if we did this all the time, And then you're like, yeah, I'll go ahead and move out to the compound.
I've kind of discovered a new way of being.
Yeah.
Oh, what if we just focus, if we whittled it down to just the thing that I think we ought to try.
Yeah.
Life gets simpler. Life gets better. We start sort of making breakthroughs. Let's just focus up here.
Yes, exactly. I think that's what a lot of cults start off as.
Right. I found a new way to be alive.
Then they get too big. I think they suffer the problem of getting too large too fast.
And I'll say this: I think they maybe get a little bit too large too fast, but it's relatively speaking. If it starts off with you get about 9 people around you, once you start getting strangers involved, you get into the double digits. I think you're getting a little bit too big too fast.
Yeah, I agree.
The pressure. I think maybe this is what you're about to say. The pressure starts getting put on you.
Yeah, and I think specifically,
and you're like, how can I not just start fucking them?
And why? You're like, well, this guy's not my friend. He's just kind of a random. He's just kind of a random guy.
Random guy. I bet I could tell him, hey, you got to go sit in the crate for 4 hours. I'm going to fuck your wife.
Yeah,
and that's good. That's what this is the cult leaders thinking.
Yes. I think in the case of Wild Wild Country, though, they suffered the same thing of being like, okay, well, we got big, and now we need our own area, and we're going to move to a small town. Mm-hmm. And then that's where, once your cult starts its own compound, I think that's where things start to go south.
Yeah, and it's a compound.
Yes. There's no other way around it.
No.
Do you have any ways to optimize cults? Because I think in thinking of this, I'm like, cults are pretty well optimized?
I have several ways.
Okay.
Because I am an outside thinker and a genius thinker, and I have incredible thoughts all the time, really important ones as well. So, of course, I have ways to optimize some of these cults. Here's a thought I had the other day.
Okay.
Quit doing them in cities. The best cults are doing them way out in the middle of nowhere where no one's going to bother them. You're gonna start, if you do start doing them in cities, there's too much other stuff going on. There's too many other opportunities, too much other culture happening. It's people. Your cult members are going to start seeing that. They're going to start questioning. They're going to bump in. You spent so much time telling them, oh, the opulence of the modern world, the materialism of the modern world is evil. You need to stay inside. Blah, blah, blah. And then they start bumping into some of these things, and they they accidentally go into a bar and they see it's filled with pinball machines and this isn't as bad as they told me it was. You're creating opportunities for holes to get poked in your religion. I thought of this as we were passing through. What do we got here? Oh, we have Scientology here. There in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And then there's what's like Jewish, like Orthodox Jewish cult.
Like Hasidic?
Hasids,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
And I say this based on having, I think they abused their women quite profoundly. And there was some great Netflix series that was like about a woman who basically broke out of that. And it was very much like she's leaving a cult.
Yes.
And escaping it. And I think I was driving through Fairfax and I was just reminded, like, oh my gosh, it's so wild. You have these like hardcore religious fundamentalists to the point of like kind of being a cult in the middle of one of the biggest cities in the United States, if not the world.
Yeah.
How are they not just falling apart all the time? And I think they probably are bleeding members because people kind of, meet one friend who's not that.
Yes.
And they probably are like, I guess I don't have to be like this. Yeah, I don't have to make women stay inside all the time or whatever, and they can't talk to men.
Yeah, you have a lot of outside influence where people can be like, they can see what the real world is like. And the other big problem with living in a city is that you can have TikTok teens speed run.
Yes, exactly.
Through your building.
Through your facility. I was disappointed by this video. If you haven't seen it, listener Tom's referencing a video of a bunch of teens put on like GoPros and sprinted through one of the main Scientology buildings, maybe the blue one.
Yeah.
I don't know which it was. I was disappointed that they didn't start just cranking doors open and seeing what was back in there, because I'm pretty sure it's people who are like deeply brainwashed, being held captive.
Yes. Yes, I think it's because they probably, not that teens are particularly smart, but they probably want to toe the line and not vandalize.
So
they probably just get kicked out. Like from what I've seen, they just get kicked out and they're like, you shouldn't come back here. And then they just keep doing it.
Yes. So that's my main thing is Scientology, move out to the woods. Hasids, move deeper into the woods. Kind of, I don't know if the Amish are quite doing cult stuff, but it seems like they kind of are.
Yes.
I think they're doing it well. They're mostly in rural areas, and they get left to their own devices, and that way they can really accomplish a lot of great cult work, which is pretty much just resource guarding and abuse.
Yeah, I think you have to be in a rural area if you want your cult to grow. It's hard to do a cult in a city. I agree.
It's silly. It's silly work.
Okay, so first off, you gotta find your compound. You gotta move out to the country.
Got to get out to the country. I would say maybe, as we were saying earlier, maybe don't let it look like a compound is maybe the next piece of advice.
Yeah.
You start putting up walls and everybody's in one big facility. That's a compound.
Yeah. But
you just have you just have loose houses. That's a neighborhood.
A camp, a retreat.
Sure. Oh, a retreat. A commune. There's a commune in Tennessee. What is it called? It might just be called the commune. Somebody from Nashville.
I think commune borders on cult territory. If you said I'm moving to a commune, people are like, ooh, that might be kind of culty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think if you're going to optimize your cult, you do have to be out far away from other people so that you can both instill fear and also...
You can control.
Control and, limit interaction
You don't
with
want
others.
outside influence.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you also want to doing some crazy rituals and stuff.
Right.
And
that way
people
you can
aren't
really
going to tolerate that in the city.
And that way you can brainstorm. No, yeah. In the city, people are going to be like, what the fuck is this? What are you? They're all bouncing up and down on their knees in the middle of the intersection or whatever the hell. Don't do that. That's weird. Out in the woods, blank slate. You can get weird. You can also try some idea. I think try a lot of ideas. See what seems most fun to your cult members. Mm-hmm. You got to because you need buy-in from these folks. It can't just all be, the whipping and the lash. You got to give them the carrot a little bit. Give them fun little rituals.
Yeah. You got to let them go down on each other.
Yeah, right. It can't just all be you.
It can't just all be you if you're a cult leader.
The goal is obviously get as much of that as you can. Get as much of their money and sex as you can. Mm-hmm. But you want longevity. The best way to do that is let them blow off a little steam together.
I think a great way to optimize a cult, this is how, if I was going to start a cult, this is how I'd optimize it. I'd just call it a cult straight from the get-go.
Tom's cult.
I think that too many cults just refuse to call themselves cults. They're like, oh no, we're a revolution. We're an awakening.
It's a practice.
We're a movement. And I think that...
Or a journey. They say either we're a journey or we're an awakening.
Yes, exactly.
What else do we say?
Welcome to the journey. Welcome to the awakening.
Exactly.
You are loved.
Yes.
Nobody thinks like us.
Exactly.
Nobody thinks like us at all.
Because, dear listener, you're listening to two optimized cult leaders. Big reveal.
I think that just saying it's a cult undercuts everything immediately. And if you're a cult, it's like so many times in all these cult documentaries, they're like, oh, what'd you say to allegations that you're a cult? And they're like, well, we're not a cult. We're an executive focus like NXIVM. They're like, well, no, we're not a cult. We're focused. Yeah. We're optimizing people. We're helping people reach their higher potential.
Right.
And stuff like that. And I'm just like, if you just said, yeah, we're a cult, get over it, then no one has any ammo against you.
Yeah.
Like if I was a cult leader, I would say, you are joining my cult. What's so bad about that? What's so bad about being in a cult?
Right. Oh, you've heard about these other ones that are bad. That's not what this is.
Yeah. This is a laid back. We call ourselves a cult because we don't take ourselves too seriously.
Right.
And then that in turn disarms everything that people have against you. All the like, oh, well, this is bad. You're like, well, yeah, I know I'm in a cult. And it's like, well, okay, how can you convince me I'm brainwashed if I know what I'm doing?
Right. Right. It's the self-aware cult.
Yeah, exactly. So if you just start...
I think we have some of this going on right now in culture right now. I said right now about 4 times just then.
In what specifically?
People who are like willingly electing to join what they know is a cult. And, I'm doing my best not to just start slamming politics, but politics is a form of organization, and as much as a cult is a form of organization, they are related. And I was just reading this earlier: is that cults are likened to like mini totalitarian dictatorships. It's like on a very small scale, but on a large scale, you just call that a totalitarian government. I mean, North Korea is a cult of personality that seems to be successfully passed down by one family, but it's a cult that's propping that up.
Yeah, so I agree. I think that political parties, by their definition, are cults because it's like when you look up a cult, it's like, oh, it's just like a group of people centered around one particular leader who has ideas.
Right. I would say traditionally that's not what political parties in the United States are.
No.
But they are right now. There's one particular part of the American political landscape that seems to be pretty much focused around one person. And
but
people I'll say I know and love are, voluntarily signing up for that. And they say, oh, I know it's silly, but the other people are just so bad. Mm-hmm. Oh, and they don't they seem to not care that they've jettisoned all reason. I think this is a thing you see a lot these days, is people who are fully aware that they are just hitting the eject button on reason because they're like, well, but it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good to hear what I like to hear, and I don't care to investigate it any further and find out if the claim that they've made is even remotely related to reality.
Well, that's what's so wonderful about being in a cult is it feels incredible.
It feels fucking fantastic. You got it figured out.
There's often times where I watch those cult documentaries and I think like, yeah, this sounds awesome. Like, is it so bad to like, I would love to feel just the feeling of being completely enraptured
I wish I could.
with somebody so much. And I'm just like, oh, like there is, if you ever watch a cult documentary, there is a clear and objective heyday to every single cult. Just
Right
like when I was
before.
saying, just like when I was talking about it, like, yeah, when you just get together with your friends or a cool, relaxed, chill
Right.
guy or woman who's doing yoga or like meditating, like that's fun. Like every cult documentary, there's a period where you're like, damn, yeah, it sounds like that is a lot of fun. They were having a lot of nice free love sex. They weren't having to pay for much. Everybody was cooking meals.
Right before the wave crested.
Yes, exactly. Like if I thought the person I was having sex with was Jesus Christ or like an alien, an otherworldly being, like that's pretty cool.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
I'd love to get there.
Yeah.
I will say, I do believe that most of the women I've ever had sex with are aliens. That's just kind of how I operate. I have to, otherwise,
Yeah.
I'll just get so violently depressed as to why it hasn't worked out. They've all been aliens, probably.
And because it's clearly their issue. It's
Their
not
issue.
you.
No, I am the central, this was the unchanging feature of all these relationships, but it's because they're aliens out there. And that's what makes the sex so fun for me. Just like you said, Tom, I believe I'm having sex with an alien god.
Yeah, I forget where I was going with that because I got awful sleep last night because of my infant child. But I do think that like there is that wonderful part where I'm like, yeah, I would want
Yes.
to. Oh yes, it feels so good to be
Yes.
in a cult until you start getting abused, and I
Yes.
think that is where everybody. But like, it's also hard to know when you're being abused because you're like, oh, I want to serve this person. Like I have been naughty.
That the best cults don't make it obvious. They
Yes.
kind of work you up into it. Well, so you touched on something just then that was the heyday of the cult when it's
Yeah.
all when it was all the salad days of the cult.
Yeah,
My piece
we were
of
just
advice,
tossing each other salad.
tossing each other salad. That's why they're called the salad days. My piece of advice for the young cultist, would-be cultist, is you got to base it a little bit in reality. You don't go full Elron. Don't go just coming up with horse shit because
Yes.
you want to have a cult. It's I don't think they're doing that well. I mean, Scientology is probably maybe one of the most successful cults of all time, but I think they're probably falling apart.
Technically a religion. It's seen as a religion
full cult,
in the U.S.
Yeah, well, that's a whole thing. They
Religious status.
infiltrated the U.S. government and used their lawyer power. But anyways, I digress. Base it a little bit in people's actual hopes and dreams and grievances, as we're seeing right now in the United States. Base it in their grievances that are grounded in reality. That gives you so much more firm bedrock to build on. Don't just start saying, well, my cat's a god. Hey guys, isn't it cool? Don't we all have cats? You can maybe they just popped up on the couch. You can maybe get a little bit of mileage out of that. Mm-hmm. But if you're trying to go the distance, which I hope you are, dear listener, if you're trying to really optimize that cult, I think you got to base it a little bit in like people are pissed off about money, health. They feel slighted by some other group. Just start there.
It sounds like you're trying to found a new political party. Sounds
No.
like you want to have a political cult
Well,
or a political party cult. Because my question is going to be, what kernel of truth would you start your cult on?
you could also just base it in. This is the self-help ones do it well as too. They base it in a simple fact of like maybe confidence and belief in yourself, and so it's maybe I was saying all political examples, but I think it's not necessarily political. It's the power of positive thinking. Let's start there. Well, there is some truth to that. There is truth to if you believe in good outcomes, you're more likely to find good outcomes. You're more attuned towards seeing that. You're going to start denying the reality of bad outcomes. You're not going to second guess yourself.
Yeah.
when you see that possible reality. So you're going to find success more, and that I think is a lot of what those like self-helpy ones are based in some kernel of truth of basically provide some level of value to people is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That could be political value, that could be in-group, out-group, that could be health, like, I don't want to keep bringing up health. Like, I guess yoga is like a health, yoga cult is kind of like basing it in like healthy lifestyle. You just got to start with some kind of thing. You can get out there. You can get away from it. You can start doing jazz with beliefs. But you got to start, and like broccoli is really good for you before you take them to like, well, the spaceship is made out of broccoli and we're all going to fly away on it someday.
Yeah.
Your health nut cult needs to start somewhere.
If you want to get the most amount of people, like you said, the power of positive thinking, like Tony Robbins, I saw a YouTube ad with Tony Robbins in it. And
what does he
is
sound
the concept of he sounds like he's crazy.
He's so much angrier.
He's so.
It's such a crazy deep voice. I had to do a voice like he's got a crazy voice.
Yeah. He's like, you're sad and alone. You're sitting inside.
You just make him sound like a WWE.
Yeah. He kind of is. I watched it and I was laughing because all I could think of all I could think of when seeing Tony Robbins like spit out like self-help jargon with like some psychologist next to him interviewing him, for the sake of the ad is like, oh yeah, well, we all follow the biggest guy, Yes. He's the biggest guy. He's
huge.
Comically large.
He's huge. His voice is crazy. He's a commanding presence.
Yeah.
Tony Robbins is for sure running a cult, but he's not been dinged, or not that I'm aware for any sexual or financial abuse.
Oh, for financial abuse for sure.
He's gotten in trouble for it.
I think people are like he's running a pyramid scheme.
Yeah,
which I do think is an interesting. I do have as discussion questions. Is a pyramid scheme a cult? I think so, but I think that like someone like Tony Robbins is prime cult leader, and like you said, goes the grounded in truth. So, well, how can it be a cult when it's grounded in such truth? Well, how can it be a cult when it helps me feel better?
This is my advice specifically for Tony Robbins. Round the corner.
Gleam the cube.
Gleam the cube.
What do you mean by round the corner?
No. That's perfect, Tom. He needs to start telling people to gleam the cube and get his believers, his followers to start believing in the one big cube and how it needs to be shined up and gleamed. And just start getting them into the next, the next phase of cultmanship.
Yeah. See, this is where I was going to disagree with your.
I wish you wouldn't.
Statement that like you need to be rooted in truth. I think one of my optimizations for cults is that like they have become a bit too rooted in truth. Like they're too lame. Like all the cults we have nowadays are mostly like self-help cults, business cults.
They're capitalism
like NXIVM.
Cults.
Yeah, they're capitalism cults. Like
you're thinking you want something out there.
I want a cult. If I was going to found a cult, it would be like we need to get back to the ancient Egyptian cults, like the Dionysian.
The Dionysian sphere.
Yeah, like we're a group of guys and girls, and whoever wants to stay after the shows at the Dionysian sphere, and we're
gonna do a lock-in.
Yeah, and we stay up for a week, and we just go crazy going down on each other.
Fueled by fun, powered by wine.
Yeah, powered by wine, and we don't do penetrative sex. We only do oral.
Oral, titty stuff, use maybe shoulder blades.
But we do it because we do it to bring about,
Dionysus.
Like Dionysus or one of the old gods. Like some sort of Lovecraftian horror.
You want the old gods.
Like have you ever seen the movie like Mandy?
Yes, of course.
It's like that type of cult.
I showed you this movie.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it's like that type of cult is the type of cult that I want to see more of.
Acid metal cult.
Kind of acid metal, or
do they
like
are they like trying to conjure an old god? I think they just like that one guy.
Yeah, they do like the one guy, but there's some like blood sex magic. There's some like occult. Like I think we need more occult cults.
Yes. Okay, I see what you're saying.
It'd
be way more interesting. I agree with you there.
Yeah. Like
I still think just a little kernel of something and then get it out there. I think Tony Robbins taking too long to get to the old God and the one true cube.
We're trying to bring about the cube of eons ago.
Yes.
The 2 billion year old sacred cube who is going to combat inflation.
Whoa. So it's
You said
sort of
rooted in the kernel of truth.
Yeah. But the kernel of truth, you just like tell people like, hey, you're kind of pissed off how things are expensive right now.
I think if I was going to run for president, I
Okay.
would say, or like start a cult.
Okay.
Just to say, I was going to start a political party. I would say, I'd flip flop back and forth because I don't think we've seen that. I'd start out being like, like things are so bad in the world. People are struggling financially. We're all living paycheck to paycheck. People are like, yes. And be like, we need the way we're going to fix this. And they're like, how? It's like, we bring back the 2 billion year old cube.
Worship the cube.
Worship the cube. We worship the cube. We worship the golden calf. We bring back Cthulhu. We're,
Sure.
trying to bring about the gods of old. And then people are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I say, but the reason why we're trying to do this is because these gods of old, they are going to bring the power of the dollar back. They're going to fight inflation.
Yeah,
They
sure.
believe in
This is
the
perfect.
gold standard.
This is perfect weird cult mishmash of like, self-help and societal ill, solving a societal ill or whatever. This is great. I like the old gods who are concerned with finance.
My
It's a really good one.
the centipede with 15 million eyes that's going to come and eat the earth.
Two legs but 15 million eyes.
Two legs, but 15 million eyes centipede. Two legs, 15 million eyes. He's going to eat the earth. He's going to start a new planet, but that new planet will have stable silver.
The price of silver stays.
Everyone will use silver, and it'll be a metal standard.
You're not
planet.
allowed to take silver on or off world from that planet.
Yeah.
That's how we keep it. We keep it flat.
Yeah.
I now that you're saying, I agree. I like this. I like we get it to the weird stuff because we don't have enough weird stuff going on. We have too much, boring self help. I agree. I'm on board with making them weird, Tom.
It was kind of like at the root of all cults too. It was like ancient. It would be like, hey, all these Egyptians, all these like ancient Greeks would be like, we love Zeus. Zeus is the main god. We love Ra. Ra's the main god. And some of the people were like, nah.
They'd have their own individual.
We
cult.
like this weird girl.
Sure.
We like the girl with 5 boobs, and we're gonna worship her specifically. Or like, we kind of like Hecate because she is gonna give us powers.
Sounds nice.
There are too many cults today are rooted in like just knowing prophecy, and not enough are trying to root in like magical powers. They're just like, the power you're going to get from this cult is self-confidence.
This is what Scientology gets right. They're giving people powers. I'd say that's the main thing they've got right.
Yes.
Besides the financial extraction of their members' bank accounts is the powers. I just heard about, what is it? Tim was telling me about it. The sixth voice, sixth note, sixth tone. It's some specific thing in Scientology.
I'm already joining.
Yeah, exactly.
Sixth tone.
God, we got to look it up. It's something where like, you see Tom Cruise and he's like talking in a certain way. He's trying to use a certain tone. Basically, it's like Bene Gesserit, like Jedi mind tricks level shit that they believe you can access if you hit the right tone. The cats are going ape shit in this room right now.
Yeah.
If you hit the right tone and you can command people to do things.
Yeah.
And I think you see Tom Cruise doing this. And that's what a carrot on the end of the stick is superpowers.
In my centipede cult, we'd have the 6th tone, but it would be like the brown note. Like
I got to look up what
if
this is called.
If you talk in a certain tone, you can make your enemies shit themselves and become incontinent. That's what I'd do. That's the power I'd give people.
I'm looking up what this is called. The emotional tone scale. It might be called the 6th tone. Scientology emotional tone scale resource. Okay. I love that everything, you can't Google things anymore. You kind of can, but you have to scroll past
the AI,
the beautiful AI, and then you about 9 sponsored YouTube pages, and then you can finally get to some kind of resource. Okay, now this is just actually a Scientology website.
Griffin going on stage at the Hollywood Improv You can't search for anything anymore. What's the deal with these search engines?
Oh, I'm gonna have to ask Tim what it was called. But I think that's an incredible thing to offer people, and they'll believe it. Even like there's a thing with cults where it's like these doomsday cults, or like the messianic under the fifth night of the eighth month of the blah blah blah. He's going to transmute into an otherworldly being and become. He'll become Christ himself, and then you have these cults believing that the day arrives and nothing happens, but they're all convinced nothing physically happens, nothing at all happens, but they're so tricked up in the brain that they're like, he did it, oh my God, and they believe that this is some documentary, news report, some shit I saw as a kid was talking about the fascinating thing of cults promising something's going to happen. It patently does not happen.
Yeah.
And everybody in it believes it happens. I think you can do that with the powers. You can offer them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here's a good one. I've never done deep dives on this. The martial arts cults.
Oh, I never even considered that.
There's a name for it, but where they're like,
yeah,
I'm loosely
where they're
touching
using
Tom's
chi.
arm,
Yeah.
but it's like it's breaking. It's fucking. I just fucking knocked your ass out, dog.
Yeah, that would be a fun type of cult to
I
lead.
want to start using that on people.
Yeah, like the drunken kung fu.
It's not
cult.
even drunken kung fu. It's just it's barely touching people.
Oh yeah, like pressure point and chi, using chi.
Have you seen the videos of these guys where they're using chi, and then one normal guy's like, okay, I'll fight him, and then they just get knocked the fuck out?
Yeah, no, I haven't.
It's so satisfying.
I've seen the videos where the guys are like, I'm using chi, and they're like,
They're cult members.
yeah, they're cult members. They're falling, which is incredible. I think that there need to be more martial arts cults.
Oh yeah. I'd love if America was divided not by political organization, but by martial arts cult. The kung fu Democrats,
against
versus the jiu-jitsu Republicans.
Well, and some might
Republicans
argue
win
that's
that
kind of how it is. A lot of Republicans, the jiu-jitsu,
they're willing to go straight to the mat.
Yeah. The Venn diagram may not be a direct overlap, but it's pretty damn close.
I was going to go back. Oh, I have another piece of advice for the would-be cultist. Cults are famous for preying on the vulnerable,
Yeah.
the depressed, the weak-minded, the weak-willed,
Yes.
the fools of the world. And I think that's only going to get you so far. We're trying to get you to the next level. You need to start preying on absolutely yoked, strong-minded, You need to get the strong people in your cult.
Yeah.
You need to have just a bunch of. Think about a cult that's just ripped guys, just physically strong.
I think I can think of that cult, and they're in pretty. I think they already exist.
Do they? Are they at the Glendale Y?
I think they're at the Glendale Y. I think they're in the White House. I think they're
sure.
I think they're just about everywhere.
Sure, the political cult. Yeah. You have the manosphere.
Yeah.
Get that though, and you can't be. They can't all be stupid. This is what they're doing currently. What they're doing right now.
Stupid.
They're kind of stupid and unwilling to think about things. You need to get smart. If you can get intelligent people in your cult, think about how impenetrable it'd be.
Yeah.
How unstoppable it would be. You need a cult of not depressed guys, because a lot of them I think are held back by the fact that these people are basically depressed, who are now, they're running to you for help. Then they're convinced that they're no longer depressed, and now they're convinced they have superpowers, and they actually don't. They're just losers. But what if you got winners?
Yeah, I think that's what Scientology is kind of trying to do. They're like, what if we got the winners?
Yeah.
In Hollywood.
Oh, sure.
But the people there are not necessarily smart, but they are rich.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say that some of those people are smart. I do think. I don't think intelligence is necessarily your only way to not join a cult.
No. In fact, there's probably lots of very intelligent people who find themselves in a cult.
Yes, I think that but
people
are always
in some way. They're vulnerable in some way. They're weak in some way. I'm saying try to get around that.
Yes, I agree. I think you can be. I think even the Scientologist, the very prominent Scientologist that I met, I could tell he was incredibly intelligent from a book smart. like incredibly intelligent, very rich businessman.
They just got him on at a
I
certain
think
time of his life.
socially intelligent, like street smart, probably not.
Yeah, seems like maybe he needed something.
Yeah, I think that is where you find yourself susceptible to a cult in some ways. I think that like I used to be one of those people who would be like, I would never fall into a cult. Like you watch a cult
Right.
documentaries, you see all these cults, you're like, yeah, that's never going to happen to
So
me.
many red flags.
And now I'm like, yeah, I would absolutely fall into a cult.
Because you met a guy who was successful?
No, I think it's just because I have realized I'm like, oh yeah. I mean, similar to the like, hey, cults have a good heyday. Like, I think I would fall into that. I think there have been culty, like I have joined in my early 20s. I joined like a pyramid scheme, like an MLM doing door-to-door sales.
Really? I was going to ask, have you ever grazed up against a cult?
Yes, and that I believe was kind of a cult. It wasn't a true, like there wasn't a true one leader, but it is like those pyramid schemes, MLMs, like they are cults in that they center around, it all layers up to the biggest guy, like similar to Tony Robbins of like, it's always a guy or a woman who they're just a killer salesman and like, you know, like you have to work really hard to get your way to the top. And it's
Sort
like
of CEOs.
yeah, but they're like they're not the CEO of the company always. They're like usually the top salesperson,
Oh, sure.
you know, or it's like who then becomes the CEO. And it's like, oh, well, they only got to the top from like financially abusing everyone else below them on the pyramid, you know?
But now I'm having do you think Microsoft was a cult at any point?
Yeah,
Apple,
I
Apple
think-
seems like for sure was, but potentially
Yes.
still is a cult.
Yes, I think so. I think that a lot of early companies and like,
But the top, with the true believers,
yeah.
they're kind of operating like cult members.
Yeah, and like Steve Jobs, it's like notoriously not a very good guy, but people still love him because, you know, he made a lot of money and had some good ideas.
Seems like maybe a charming personality of some sort. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
He convinced people to be on his side.
But I do think so many
was
businesses
good.
are cults in a way.
Sure.
I will say, you know, the one place that I have worked that did not seem like a cult, or the only place I've worked that did not seem like a cult, like fervor or like aura
Sure.
surrounding the CEO was Allstate Insurance.
I thought you were going to say Walgreens.
No, Walgreens, it's like this, it's still like literally a Walgreen. Like, it's like the guys, it's like the trope of like, you know, the improv trope where it's like, hello, Mr.
Mr.
Coke, or
Walgreens?
Mr. Pepsi, or like
Yeah.
Mr. Walgreens. It's like, that is literally the executive board is
Mr.
like some
Wow.
guy named Mr. Walgreen.
Wow.
Or Mrs. Walgreen.
But you worked at Allstate Insurance.
I worked at
and-
Allstate.
And it seemed like they were just doing it. It's a business. We're doing it by the numbers here.
Yeah, the guy was like, it was so funny. I wasn't an insurance salesman. I worked in the corporate office as like a designer. And I would see the CEO like all the time, and he was the short dude. And like, he was always like, nah, we don't really have to do much at this company. He's like, the thing pretty much runs itself, which was true.
They need insurance.
And like people just saw him as like another guy.
That's great.
Which was so rare at any other company. And like, not that I worshiped him either, but I was just kind of like, oh yeah, he's here again. Big whoop.
The unassuming cult leader, though. What about this? Is
Yeah,
this an
but
idea?
that's kind of like Kenneth Raniere Ken Raniere, who was the next
Kim? Yes. Pete Raniere.
he was kind of the unassuming one, but then like he was secretly like incredibly power hungry.
Yes.
Like that is a tactic of some of these cult leaders of like, oh, I'm a humble guy, but also I want you to go down.
Yeah.
on me.
You're
You
right.
know?
Yeah, that was exactly his MO.
Yeah. And like, oh, I'm gonna build like my secret. Like the other thing he did was like, oh, I'm gonna build a cult within my cult. Because that's
Smart.
like that is a very
That's
smart optimization
Levels.
for your cult.
There's levels to this.
Yes, of like I already have a cult, but there are also tiny little cults within it, which was his like I forget what it was called
That's how you
because it's been so
silo
long.
his group of girls.
Yes, but
The
his group of
sisterhood.
girls is sisterhood, and they were like cult leaders.
Yeah.
The like Allison, what's her name? That was like
Mack.
Allison Mack was like a cult leader within that cult.
Yes.
which is a great way to optimize your cult.
That's really good job. He did a really great job.
Which, you know, kind of goes back to the, you know, we have this big religion of like what cults came out of. Like we have Zeus. We all worship Zeus, and someone's like, what if we worship the other
What
little
if
god?
it was Poseidon?
Yeah, and then it's like we're gonna make our little, you know, and then with the Egyptians are like, oh, what if we worship this god within a god? Mm-hmm. and then you have a cult within a cult within a cult, and
Yes.
then the more secretive and small the cult is, the kind of more powerful it can be in some ways, because you're like, oh, there aren't that many people doing this.
Which is for the exclusivity thing is really fun. Having
Yeah.
a little bit of power over people, you got to give them those things. Those are really nice to have.
Which is why I could see myself joining a cult, because if somebody was like, hey man, you're cool enough, you come join this like weird little club where all we do is like drugs and have sex and we just kind of chill, and like you're cool enough to join it, there's only 4 or 5 other of us, I would want it.
You'd want to be in the group of 4 people having sex?
I think I know I've said that, like, I don't want to. I think I've put myself off in this episode as being crazed for sex. I think I've
I'd
used
say
that.
that's almost every episode, Tom. I'd say no matter what you're talking about, it undergirds everything.
And I don't think that is who I am as a person, but in
In cult
these
terms.
in cult terms, if they're like, we got a cool group of a few people, we do rituals and we have powers, and like you're cool enough and we think you're hot enough, and also we're all hot. That's not always a cornerstone of cults. A lot of the times they're pretty weird looking, but sometimes the people are kind of hot.
Hot cult.
I think Nexium did that somewhat well.
Hot-
They got some
made-
hot people.
They made
in
sure
there.
they were hot.
Yeah.
Well, they were also preying on like famous people, or they were trying to.
Yes.
I think you're right that was a. I think here I have a. Well, no, I was going to try to get us off that because I think we're becoming the Nexium podcast episode.
Yes,
and not
exactly.
Cults in general, but I will say it seems like that guy did a really good job of running a cult.
Mm-hmm.
Got busted, got flew too close to the sun. He didn't quite get to. But I think under all of this is the goal of every cult is to control the world, control the country. Like I think if they could, Keith Rainier would.
Keith. That's what it.
Would want to be, the president.
Yeah.
And then from there, let's see. I think every cult, no matter how big or how small, whatever stage they're at, that's what they're wanting to go for.
Yeah.
And I think that guy did he did a really good job. Had a great run.
Yeah. I agree.
One thought, and they might have done this in that cult. A lot of cults operate on the unquestioning devotion of the followers towards the leader. I don't know how to phrase that, but it's the unquestioning part. And I think that it's really tight fisted and it's rigid. And I think that's where you start, again, bleeding. You have ex-Scientologists, Nexium guys, because that's who made that Nexium documentary. It was like a guy who had been in it.
Yeah, the
But you have
camera
people
guy.
who wake up because the human spirit doesn't want to be bound after so long. Eventually, you feel the tight grip of the leader and you start butting heads with each other.
Yeah.
And then people start exiting the cult. I think you get better devotion if you open up the floor to questions.
So you're just saying, if you're a cult leader, make sure that you have frequent town halls.
Have a few town halls.
Okay.
I'd say invite the questions. I think this is maybe what this Keith guy did pretty well. I think there's lots of footage of him like opening the floor up to questions.
Yeah.
Because then he can use his kind of charm and his charisma and his whatever, debate skills to convince you that your question actually doesn't make sense. Or it's incredible that you had that question. Thank you so much for bringing that up. And now it's no longer a problem. Now you've diffused the question and it's actually a power.
Yeah.
It's good that they had that question. And I think the more you can risk losing a member to, if God is all powerful, how come, terrible things happen or he can't, whatever, like basic Catholic questioning. The closer you can get to that and then not teeter over the edge towards they fall out of the cult, they fall out of the religious belief, I think the stronger that buyback makes them. Makes their belief, their fervor so much more.
Yeah, you really don't have to do much. I feel like that guy, Keith Raniere, was like good at being
I
like...
think it's Rainier.
Raniere.
I think you're getting dangerously close to doxing somebody.
Okay. I think whatever. That's neither here nor there. What I was trying to say is he did a great job of being like, that's a great ask me any questions. That's a great question. This is why you're an idiot.
Tony Robbins does this too.
Yeah, he does that. Yeah.
It's a lot of these self-help gurus. Mm-hmm. You got to be able to open the floor up to questions. So don't have it so tight gripped.
Yeah, I think that when I think about joining a cult, I think that I would definitely join a cult, and I have joined some cults in the past. I think though, where, well, like I talked about the MLM. I think there's some
sure.
company cults. Like I think companies,
Sure.
certain companies have definitely been cultish. One of the first places I worked was a startup. It was 100% a cult environment
There's
where like
certainly
people
some-
would work. You would work way harder than you had to. People were fucking each other, like dating each other. People were like, "Oh my god, the CEOs are the coolest. We'll listen to every." And they did a lot of Q&As.
Yeah.
People would ask them, and they were like, "We want to be open," and then they would be like, "This is why that's wrong," or "This is why we have a plan and a vision."
It's the artifice of being open-minded.
Yes, and like we will, if you guys just keep working harder, this vision will be brought about, and like we're in control, don't worry, type of stuff. But then like there is a certain point where you do kind of wake up to that of like, I do think it is hard for me when I see like the NXIVM documentaries and I see the dude in jail and the women still, they're like 3 women, they're still come outside and are like, "We dance for you." I'm like, I cannot see getting to that point. I think
tough.
that's really sad because I'm like, that is clearly like, those are the people who are like so emotionally and like have some sort of trauma that doesn't allow them to like break out
or they're like
of that cycle.
weak in some part of their mind.
Yeah.
That just isn't, I don't know, skeptical in the right way.
Yeah.
They haven't been trained to avoid that kind of being preyed upon in that way.
If I was a cult leader, that's what I would have the hardest part of. Like, once I got busted, I would just be like, "Don't you see that it's over?" Like, I would have a hard time in another life. I could see myself as a cult leader. Like, if I took the evil arc, I think I've taken a neutral arc in my life.
I'd say you've gone neutral, not good, not evil, neutral.
I think I've taken a morally neutral arc in my life. But like, had I taken the evil arc, I could see myself wanting to be like a con man. I could see myself being a good con man or a good cult leader.
I just don't have the energy ideas for it.
Yeah, I agree.
I know how to help them. I could help them optimize it, but just ground level, I don't know how to get going.
I think you have the stature and the looks to be a cult leader.
Thank you.
And maybe the ability. I think I could see you being like a David Koresh.
Who's that?
Like, he's the guy that started the Branch Davidians and
sure.
the Waco, the 53 or like 30. It was like 30 or 50-day siege in Waco, Texas.
That's right. I don't know much about that.
I can see you being that type of cult leader, but I can't see you being like a yoga type or like a business type.
Yeah, too bad at business, too angry for yoga.
Yeah.
That's my bumper sticker.
Born at just the right time to make short films.
Yeah, exactly when that... You know how that was always really a great idea? Well, now it's the best idea in 2026.
Yeah, you could start a short film cult.
I'd love to start a short... This is not a bad idea. Well, and this is what film festivals are, Tom, is what I found out.
The tier of LA that we're in right now feels like a short film cult.
It is. It is.
It kind of thing.
And I'm spending upwards of $300 a year making sure that they stay funded.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not, but it's... wish I had that $300 back instead of a pile of rejection letters with no context for the rejection.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I doing this for?
But like, you're on the level of like, okay, I felt similar for the same time about improv.
Yeah.
Of like improv, very culty.
I think you're getting something out of that, at least. You are getting a skill.
Yes.
I'm not being offered a skill. I don't know what I'm being offered by these film festivals. I'm kind of rethinking the whole thing right now.
Yeah, I mean, but the improv I did was I walked away being like, well, I did get a community of people who I enjoy and I'm still friends with. And
I got to do a thing that not that many people are capable of doing, and I got better at it.
Yes.
There's a demonstrable skill.
Yes, I agree. I did get better at comedy. I
didn't say that. Just
Yeah.
you get better at improv.
I did. It exposed me to a world that I wouldn't have gotten into otherwise. But like, it absolutely was culty, and I feel like you have to give into a cult behavior to be good at it.
Well, or you can. There's certainly there was like cult behavior around IO. There's people who like actually thought Sharna was awesome.
And teachers there were teachers who I was like, this guy is such a cool 47-year-old man doing improv. And then like, even when I was like in my late 20s, I was like, okay, well, this guy's less cool, but he's still like all right. Now that I'm in my 30s, I'm just like, he's kind of sad.
Seems weird.
Yeah.
Weird to spend your life like that.
Yeah, to
But anyways,
still be doing it anyway.
You don't have to be the cult member to participate. You
No.
can still glean something from that.
But I think that is not a lot of cults, but like to a certain extent, a lot of the business cults. It's like you can still be on the tail end. It's like you
Sure.
could have sold fucking LuLaRoe, whatever. Do you know that? That's a pyramid scheme with
I
the
thought you were gonna
leggings.
say Lululemon,
No, Lululemon, I think it's just an awesome business.
incredible brand.
No, LuLaRoe is like that was the leggings, and like I don't know if it was like two religious people, the CEOs who started. It was kind of a cult, but it's like those. I think a lot of those people got screwed over, but I think in some business cults you can walk away with being like, I did get skills.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some people there, for every.
I think this is what people say about Scientology. Oh, it helped me with my alcoholism.
Yeah.
I'm not really so into all of it, but like it did help me. Like
Yeah.
they do feel like they got something out of it. A lot of them.
Yeah, and that is one of the craziest things about cults is like if you do, even a cult helps, even a broken clock is right.
One cult a day.
One cult a day.
Twice, 2 cults a day.
Even a cult is sometimes right twice.
There we go. So yeah, if this is your first time listening, yeah, we're usually about this level of intelligence. Whatever you would describe it as, I say quite verbose, but ultimately morons.
Yes, yes. But still heterodox thinkers at the root of it.
Yes, absolutely.
I will say, yeah, I think cults do, for as crazy as every cult is, I think that even the craziest ones help at least one person. And that's kind of wild to think about.
It's kind of beautiful.
The guy who walked
it
away
all
with the
worth it?
Branch Davidians being like, yeah, I was kind of stuck in the compound for 53 days, but man, I don't jerk it as much anymore.
it was. Yeah, that's what we
I
needed
see
help
women in a new light.
with. And for that,
Probably the wrong kind of light.
but it's a new one. And
it's
for
a new
that,
one.
I'm thankful. I had one other idea of optimizing for cults. I'm kind of bored of it right now, though, but I'll say it just to get
Okay.
through it. Which was, a lot of these cults are asking for a little bit of cash, a little bit of cold, hard cash.
Yep.
And they're doing it in incremental steps.
Mm-hmm.
Scientology famously, I think, NXIVM did this as well. You got to buy a class. Well, you're going to need a seminar. That's gonna
Cutco
be
knives.
Cutco knives.
You got to buy you're going to make the money back.
Yes.
You got to buy your first set of knives,
And
and
these
then
are-
you can sell them.
These are cults for poor people.
Still have those knives.
They're cults that are for poor people, and they're preying on the vulnerable again.
Yeah.
Kind of forget that. Make your shit expensive from go. You're targeting rich people. You need rich cult members. Rich people, they see a huge price tag on something, they don't balk at it. They say, it's expensive, it must be good.
Yeah, that's why I love the price of gas right now, because I know it's the best gas I've ever bought.
This is the best gas I've ever bought. And if anything, the higher it goes, the more I'm in the gas cult.
Yeah, the higher the price of gas goes, the better the gas is for my car.
I don't want that cheap solar power, cheap
No.
wind. Disgusting.
No.
$10 a gallon? Woo!
I like it because I know how much it has to go through to get to me.
Exactly.
I know that it's got to like dodge so many fucking bullets in the Strait of Hormuz just to get to my
Yes,
tank.
yes.
But no, I agree with you. I do think that exclusivity, that's another play on the exclusivity
Yes.
angle.
And the value proposition. Oh, it's expensive to be in this.
Yeah.
I must be getting a lot out of it.
Well, that is the other type of cult I think I would willingly join, that I was prime or like ripe for when I was in college.
Sure.
Was like the secret society cult. Like if I would have gotten approached by a Skull and Bones that was like, hey man, we really love you. You're exactly the type of guy we want, but we need $15,000. I don't think I've ever asked my parents for like a serious amount of money before. But like, I would have absolutely been like, Dad, I need $15,000.
They're gonna groom me to become the head of the Department of Defense.
Yeah. Like
Excuse me, Department of War.
my libertarian ass in college would have loved to have a secret society
Really?
at UGA, yeah, or any school, whatever school I would have gone
Fellow
to.
libertarians.
Yeah, well, I don't think it necessarily had to be a libertarian, but I'm just trying to give our citizen soldiers the type of mindset I was in
Well,
college.
I'm thinking, but I'm saying I think it would have to be fellow libertarians because the libertarian, the whole thing is the liberty part of it is
Yes.
the not being in a collective. It's anti-collectivist. So the only way you're going to get libertarian cults is if they're all convinced that they're each libertarians in the cult.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to feel at home with them. Oh, we're all John Galt, and we're going to shrug together in our secret society.
Well, there was kind
That's
of
an
like
Atlas Shrugged reference.
my roommate at the time was into like the homebrew scene, and we would go to
Right.
the homebrew shop all the time. And there was a dude who owned the homebrew shop who was like a libertarian. He always had a gun on him.
Jeez.
Even though no one was trying to rob him of like grain. But anyway, he introduced us to people. Like, he was like an interesting guy, and we would hang out with him from time to time. And he introduced us to people that were kind of in a cult. It was like a bunch of anarchists who lived in a warehouse together.
Yes.
And like did art, but were also kind of like, they weren't like weird. They were weird, but not like a bad kind of weird.
Yes.
Like, I think you could easily be like, oh, they were neo-Nazis, but they definitely were not that.
Okay.
They were just like anarchists who lived in a warehouse, and
I
they would
got it.
all be like, oh, okay, yeah, we're all anarchists, but then like they would complain to you about being like, yeah, this fucking guy sucks. And then I was kind of like, that's what woke me up. Like, oh yeah, it's kind of a cult, but like also, yeah, even the anarchists don't like being part of an anarchist commune.
It's kind of tough.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because people do other stuff that you don't like, and you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah. It's sort of, they've kind of catch 22'd themselves.
Yeah, but I guess by definition, it can't be a cult because then there's no leader. They would never be like, you're the leader of the anarchists. It'd just be like everyone kind of does what they want here.
Yeah. I'm thinking about the idea of a self-perpetuating cult that has no leader, like a perpetual stew. The members are changing in and out constantly, but there is no leader. But I guess you have to have a leader to make it a cult.
I mean, some might say that really important thinking is kind of that.
There is no leader.
We have a leader, Dr. Chris Chismore, but he's never really here.
Maybe this is the genius of what we're doing here, though. There's an unattainable God King. And
Yes.
we are the arbiters. We are we control communication to him.
And if you listen
Oh my
long enough,
God.
Citizen Soldier, you will hear his voice. One day he will return.
And he will return. And in the meantime, we are preparing you for that, and you are getting the powers of ancient insight. And the
I thought you were going to
powers,
say the powers of ancient Israel.
ancient Israel, ancient Islam, and ancient. I can't talk at all today. My voice sounds insane in my headphones. It's tripping me up.
I'm delirious from waking up like 6 times last night.
Yeah,
I can't put together good sentences.
but soon we'll be impervious to those sorts of foibles because we're members of the really important thinking cult.
Soon there will be no need for sleep because we will be forever awake.
And being held in the arms of our God, Dr. Chris Chismore. Is that
Yes.
okay? So on that note,
Thank you for listening.
gentle soldier, dear listener,
You are loved. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to the awakening.
you are
You're loved and nobody thinks like you.
No one thinks like us.
No one thinks like any of us. Everyone else out there is susceptible to propaganda. You are not. Remember.
You're a genius and you're a young god. You have the powers of the universe at your fingertips if only you devote about $5 a month to our upcoming Patreon that eventually maybe we'll do.
And also, if anyone wants to go down on me, I'm open to it.
Okay, goodbye.
Really Important Thinking is produced by Griffin Winsler, Tom Fell, and Dr. Chris Chismore. All fact-checking is done by the MIT Institute for Data, Systems, and Society. Really Important Thinking is engineered at the Stanford Institute of Consequential Noise and recorded at Detweiler Sound in humble Tupelo, Mississippi. When I see my baby dancing, I know it's to that Detweiler sound. Sound mixing by Reed Armband with music by Laser Monster. Tom's costume was provided by Padma Lakshmi with catering provided by Kokomo's Mungo Lounge. Kokomo's, if you can't take her here, you can't take her anywhere.